Come on, these are things that we find people taking lightly. But for you, it's an investment you should pay attention to, because your life must not look like every other person's life. You should take a new shape as you're hearing this. The finance life of a music mind, a music minister, a chorister, a musician, an instrumentalist, and anyone doing music as far as it's related to the gospel industry. We're here to talk about the finance mind of the music mind. Why do we really need this? Why do you need to study this? I thought you should just claim His promises and continue serving God faithfully. God will supply my needs and settle me for life, give me wealth beyond my expectation. Okay, so this is why you need to study this. I usually tell this story, and I'm going to tell it now. It's just a quick one. A music mind in church, actually, an instrumentalist, basically a pianist, served in church, or has been serving in church all his life, almost all his life. He plays the piano, and he cannot count how many places he has played in. That's just the truth. This man cannot count how many places he has played in. So he has played in this church, in this state. He has moved to another state and is playing the second church in that state. And it got to the point in time where he got to the point in his life where he needed to get married. And on receiving a down payment or a payment of about 30,000 naira monthly, he got married. And after getting married, he found out that obviously the money is receiving from church as payment, because he received his 30,000 naira as payment from the church office. So he got to understand that 30,000 naira cannot pay his bills right there in his marriage, meaning he cannot pay the bills of his wife and he cannot pay his own bills. Although he had a little side hustle he does immediately after services or during weekdays, but it got dawned on him that this is my major source of income and I cannot take care of my family with this. What did this man do, or what did this brother do? He simply left the church looking for another church that will pay him 50,000 naira, telling himself that he is not worth just receiving 30,000, but now receiving 50,000. So that simply means that this music mind or this pianist in church considered the structure of his life and equaled it to the payment he's receiving in the church. For me, I call that stupidity. For me, I call that thinking less of who God has created you to be. Now, let's study how to balance a music ministry and generate income, or how to balance music ministry and generating income. Now, it has to do with one, sitting down to count the cost. Sit down and estimate the cost. Luke 14:28 makes us understand this. Suppose one of you or you want to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? That's what Luke 14:28 makes us understand. It's right there in the Bible. These secrets are right here in the Bible. How do you balance your music ministry and generating income? You have to first sit down to count the cost. What will it take you? What time will it take you to do music ministry and also go around or generate income? What skills do you need? What skills do you need? What do you need to understand? What niche do you need to go into? What interest apart from music ministry has God given you in the a mountain of influence? Whether it is entertainment, whether it is business, whether it is culture, whether it is fashion, what interest or what passion extra has God given you? Even though it is in the media, look deep down, sit down and count the cost. Luke 14:28 makes us understand this. You won't get the full gist here. You have to sit down and count the cost. Secondly, the plans of the diligence leads to profit. Proverbs 21:5 makes us understand that the plans of the diligent leads to profit. I'm still bouncing back on sitting down and count the profit. But you have to understand that this number 2 steps has a lot to do with the mind, because creating wealth has to do with the mind. Balance starts from the mind. Your plans have to align with the diligent man. How does the diligent man think? The diligent man thinks hard work or smart work. So you need to learn how to use hard work in places, to leave hard work and use smart work, because there are places you need hard work and there are places you need smart work. You have to understand this. Life is in seasons. Proverbs 21:5 makes us understand that the plans of the diligent man will lead to profit, surely as haste will lead to poverty. So that simply means that you don't have to rush into it. You hear Balance Music Ministry, you want to rush into it. No. Don't do that. Calm down, count the costs. Think like the diligent man. Think like the diligent man. Sit down and make those plans. Let those plans be written down. Don't take those plans in your head running out to the world at large. No. After listening to this, calm down, write those plans down. Write those plans down. Now, you have to also learn to make up for it. Make up for it. Balance in music ministry. I don't want to say it's a 50-50 thing, but you need to learn how to put it on the scale of balance. Make up for it. You spend too much time that you are supposed to use to rehearse practical reasons. These are practical reasons now. You spend too much time on listening to music. Or you spend too much time on going around looking for a job. You spend too much time on the social media trying to do a job. Balance or make up for it by giving yourself an extra time of work in music. So you're a music minister and you're supposed to rehearse, but business took your time. Make up for it. Spend extra time in rehearsals. Spend extra time or try to make use of the night hours so you get to make up for it. Just say, make up for it. Good. So that is the spirit. Make up for it. How do you stop roaming and really grow an active income generating system? One, the first step is this. It all starts from the mind. You have to read materials on money growth. You being a Christian does not mean don't read materials on music growth. It is a lie. You need to gain the information you need to use in the world when it comes to the money world, when it comes to the business world. Read materials on money growth. You need to grow in finance wise. So read materials related to financial growth, investment, how to best use what you have to gain what you want. Read materials on money growth. 2, hear and listen to wealth teachings. Learn your part. So this has to do with you sitting down to listen to people, godly people, and people who have proofs. Because there are a lot of talkers out there, but there are few that have proofs. I'm going to give you an expo. So you can go and listen to a man called Myron Golden. You hear examples of principles used by the man called Mr. Solomon or King Solomon in the Bible. Mr. Myron Golden will teach you principles on this. But you have to understand that you need to choose those you will listen to when it comes to generating wealth. Choose them and listen to sound principles. There are books that talk about sound principles on wealth, generating wealth. So you have to learn to listen to materials on wealth. Apart from just reading materials on wealth, listen to materials on wealth. Listen to the right principles. Listening to the right principles on well-generating income will take you far. Learn your part. You have to learn your part. How does it apply to you? Not every part, not every direction is your direction. Not every direction is your direction. Learn your own part. What has God given you? What has God given you to use to make money? What has God given you to be able to impact your world and make people pay for you, pay for it. So there are passions that God has given you. I think I've touched this in the beginning. Get clear directives and start. It is not enough to learn alone. It is not enough to know your part and discover your part. What you need at most, or sometimes, or definitely at the end, is to get clear directives from the Holy Spirit, clear directives from your mentors, clear directives from those that have done it and gotten results. I am emphasizing on this. Results can be in time. Results may not be the physical cash or the physical wealth, but wealth that is in the mind, wealth that can impact generations. These are people that have gotten results. So what I'm trying to say is this: listen to them. When you get clear directives from the Holy Spirit, in fact, I call him the best person to get directives from. So after listening to all these people, you come back and ask the Holy Spirit, what do you want me to do now? Where do I start from? Show me. My ears are open. My eyes are open. My mind is open to receive insight. So you need to get clear directives. Write them down and start. START, the 5-letter word that makes everything possible. Start. The Holy Spirit has given you inspiration. You may not hear go in your spirit, but He has given you inspiration. Why don't you start? Open your mouth and do the speaking. Open your hands and do the holding. Pick up your legs and walk. Move. Start. START means start, means move, means do it. Qualities or steps that keeps you in focus in music is the last bonus I'm going to be giving for this section. Qualities and steps in keeping your focus in the music ministry. I won't say much. I will just say the 5-letter words, which says focus. FOCUS is one of the major secrets here. Keeping the focus has to do with following one course until success is attained. FOCUS, follow one course until success, until you attain success. Not every way that looks good is your way. Not every investment that looks good or referred is your ideal investment. Not every financial advisor is your financial advisor. Not every way is your way as a music mind. So there are different people that will do different things and make money. But for you as a music mind, there are strategic ways that God has designed for us, that God has designed for you to make income, to yield exploits when it comes to profit in finance, and still keep you focused. So follow that one course till you find success. If you have not discovered it, use the same systems I have talked about before. On how to stop roaming and really grow an active income generating system. Use those systems. Find it. Keeping the focus has to do with following this one course and not doing so many things at the same time. Yes, at the beginning, it might look like you need to do this side also, but please come back to that point, that place or that point in time where I talked about where you have to make up for it. So make up for it. Use the system of making up for it. Do whatever you need to do. It is the truth. I'm not going to tell you the lie that you'll find the one sure system. Many people, or even most successful people, don't have one source of income. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 sources of income. But that does not mean they're not following one course. They always find the meeting point with their purpose. They always find the meeting point with their music ministry. So find that meeting point. Follow that one course until you're successful. Find the meeting point at every point in time. At every point in time, you stray away, or every point in time, you overspend in time. So there are qualities that will help you. These are time management. You find consistency there. You find time management and consistency. They're one of the most important things. I don't want to talk about many things, so that you have a clear path of action even after this video, even after this section. You will have a clear path of direction. Please don't listen to all of this and don't take action. I want you to take action. I am rooting for you. I am sticking out my trust for you. I know God has put in a lot inside of you. And with these things you've had, you can make so much difference and impact with it. I trust your financial life will never remain the same in 2023. So please do as much as possible not to take less of yourself. Say, do as much as possible. Put these things to practice, and God will blow your mind.